Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. Sometimes the most valuable treasures are the ones we see every day without realizing their true worth. That's exactly the case with the Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1964, a small copper coin that millions of Americans have held in their hands at one time or another, never imagining it could be worth far more than its face value. But behind its modest appearance lies a story of historical significance, minting mystery, and collector obsession. Today, we take a closer look at why the 1964 Lincoln penny is far more than just pocket change, and how one rare specimen reached a mind-blowing value that will leave you searching through your own coin collection with new eyes. The year 1964 was a turning point in American history. The nation was going through major social and political changes, and while the headlines of the day focused on the civil rights movement and the escalating tensions abroad, something quieter, but equally remarkable, was happening at the United States Mint. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had already become an American icon. But the coins struck in 1964 hold a special place in the hearts of collectors, not only because of their historical timing but because of their production anomalies and hidden value. Produced in massive quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, the 1964 Lincoln penny was part of an effort to meet increasing public demand for coinage during the mid-1960s. The coin was made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that would soon be phased out in the coming decades as copper prices rose. What makes some of these 1964 pennies particularly valuable, however, isn't just their metal content. It's the presence of rare errors and conditions that elevate certain coins from ordinary to extraordinary. Among the most sought-after variations are double-die pennies, coins where the design has been accidentally struck twice by the minting die, creating a shadow-like doubling effect that can be seen in the lettering or the date. Another rare variety includes pennies struck on silver planchets or foreign coin blanks, which happened by mistake and are now considered priceless anomalies. There are also known examples of off-center strikes and die cracks that add significant value. Even pennies with unusually sharp strikes, full original luster, and no signs of circulation can be worth far more than 1 cent, especially if they've been professionally graded and preserved in near-perfect condition. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC have certified 1964 Lincoln pennies in high mint state grades, and these coins have stunned the numismatic world with the prices they've achieved at auctions. A coin in MS66 or MS67 red condition, meaning it retains its original bright red copper appearance and has minimal imperfections, is extremely rare. Collectors will pay a premium for these specimens, especially if they also include a significant mint error or unique feature. These coins are time capsules of mid-century America, and their appeal stretches far beyond just coin collecting. They're pieces of art, history, and curiosity rolled into one. The 1964 penny also holds appeal because it represents the last year before major changes came to U.S. coinage. The Coinage Act of 1965 would remove silver from many denominations and initiate the gradual move away from precious metals and circulating coins. That makes the 1964 penny something of a historical bookend, a final chapter in a certain era of American minting. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to learn about coins, this particular penny serves as a reminder that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth more than anyone could have guessed. It's this story, and the rare instances of perfection or error in the minting process, that have led to astonishing prices in the world of coin auctions. And now, the question that's been building since the beginning of this tale: just how valuable can a 1964 Lincoln 1-cent penny be? The answer will surprise even the most skeptical viewer. One of the rarest and most flawless examples ever discovered, featuring an extremely rare mint error and graded at the highest level, was recently appraised and sold for an incredible $167,000. That's right, one small copper penny, once casually handed over for a stick of gum or a morning newspaper, is now valued at more than the cost of a luxury car, a four-year university degree, or a small home in some parts of the country. So the next time you come across a handful of old coins, maybe in a drawer, a coin jar, or even loose change from the store, take a moment to look a little closer. That seemingly ordinary penny could be your hidden fortune, waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your coin collection close, because history might just be hiding in the palm of your hand. Top 2. In the world of coin collecting, few things are more thrilling than the discovery of a rare and valuable coin hiding in plain sight. And one such coin, often overlooked and casually tossed into change jars or passed along in everyday transactions, is the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1966. At first glance, it looks like just another ordinary copper penny. But for those who know what to look for, those with the knowledge, passion, and a sharp eye, this unassuming coin has the potential to unlock a story of historical significance, production anomalies, and incredible value. Today, we're diving deep into the legacy and mystery of the 1966 Lincoln penny, and why one single coin from that year shocked collectors by being worth far more than its face value could ever suggest. The year 1966 was a time of transformation in the United States. The country was in the midst of major cultural shifts, political changes, and technological advancements. Meanwhile, at the U.S. Mint, there was a frenzy of activity driven by the Coinage Act of 1965, which had removed silver from circulating coins and put intense pressure on mints to meet the public demand for coinage. To ease this pressure, mint marks were temporarily removed from coins, including the Lincoln penny. This makes the 1966 penny unique in that, unlike earlier or later versions, it does not feature a mint mark, regardless of whether it was produced in Philadelphia or Denver. That detail alone makes it stand out to collectors, but it's only the beginning. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since its debut in 1909, celebrating the legacy of one of the nation's most revered presidents. In 1966, these pennies were made primarily of copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc, and were produced in massive quantities. But even in such large numbers, anomalies can occur. Coins may be struck off-center, have doubling in the lettering or date, or be minted using the wrong planchet. These rare errors, combined with a coin's condition and luster, are what transform a common penny into a valuable treasure. Collectors obsess over these details, and a flawless coin with even the smallest error can command astonishing prices on the market. What makes the 1966 penny particularly interesting is that several rare varieties and errors have been discovered over the years. One such variety includes the elusive doubled die, where parts of the coin, most often seen in the words Liberty or the date, appear to have been stamped twice, slightly out of alignment. There are also cases of coins being struck on planchets meant for other denominations or even foreign currency blanks, resulting in a coin with an unusual weight, color, or size. And let's not forget the visual appeal. Coins that retain their original, red coloring, a sign of minimal exposure to air and handling, are significantly more valuable than those that have turned brown with age. Professional coin grading services play a major role in determining a coin's value. A Lincoln penny from 1966 that has been preserved in near-perfect condition, graded MS-66 or higher, especially with a unique error, can become a highlight in any collection. These are the coins that turn up at major auctions, where bids climb rapidly as collectors and investors compete for a piece of American numismatic history. It's not just about the age or rarity, it's about the story behind the coin, the circumstances of its creation, and the pristine condition in which it has survived for decades. Imagine finding one of these coins in your own home, tucked away in a forgotten coin jar or resting at the bottom of an old drawer. The possibility alone is enough to send anyone rushing to check their change. And while many 1966 Lincoln pennies are only worth their face value, the rarest among them, the ones with perfect condition, dazzling color, and astonishing minting errors, are worth far more than 1 cent now. here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. One of the most extraordinary 1966 Lincoln 1-cent pennies ever discovered, featuring a rare mint error and certified at an extremely high grade, was valued and sold for an astonishing $156,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single copper penny, once casually carried in someone's pocket more than half a century ago, is now worth more than some luxury cars or the down payment on a house. So the next time you find a penny on the ground or sift through your old coin collection, remember this story. That simple coin in your hand might just be a hidden treasure. The 1966 Lincoln cent is a reminder that history, mystery, and value can come in the smallest of forms, and that sometimes a penny truly is worth a fortune. Top 3. In the fascinating realm of coin collecting, few coins inspire both curiosity and excitement quite like the Lincoln 1-cent penny. And among the many dates minted over the decades, the 1973 Lincoln penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and treasure hunters alike. While at first glance it may appear to be just another copper coin among millions, the truth is, this little piece of American currency carries more intrigue and hidden value than most people realize. The 1973 Lincoln cent tells a story of meticulous design, hidden errors, and the rare chance that something so small could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Let's travel back in time to 1973. The United States was still healing from the cultural turbulence of the 1960s. The Vietnam War was ongoing, the Watergate scandal was just beginning to unfold, and American citizens were experiencing both uncertainty and hope. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint continued its steady production of currency for the nation. In that year alone, over 5.8 billion Lincoln pennies were struck, most at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. These pennies featured the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor D. Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. Given the massive number of coins minted in 1973, it would seem unlikely that any one of them could rise above the rest in terms of significance or value. But that's where the magic of numismatics comes in. In a world full of ordinary coins, rare varieties, minting errors, and pristine condition specimens become the shining stars of coin collections. The 1973 Lincoln penny is no exception. For the trained eye and the fortunate few who stumble upon a coin with unique features, this humble cent can become an object of extraordinary worth. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for 1973 pennies with rare characteristics, things like double die errors, off-center strikes, and planchet anomalies. A double die error, for instance, occurs during the minting process when the coin receives a double impression from the die. These doubling effects can often be seen on the date, the word liberty, or the phrase, "In God we trust." When such an error is confirmed by professional grading services, it can transform a simple penny into a highly sought-after piece. Another major factor in a coin's value is its condition. Mint state coins, particularly those graded MS-65 and higher, are incredibly rare due to the wear and tear coins face in everyday circulation. A 1973 penny that retains its original luster, sharp detail, and vibrant red copper tone is significantly more valuable than one that has darkened with age or suffered scratches. Those high-grade specimens, especially if they exhibit a rare minting anomaly, can attract competitive bids from collectors at major auctions across the country. What's also worth noting is that 1973 was a time when copper was still the primary metal in pennies, 95% copper and 5% zinc. This makes them heavier than the post-1982 zinc cents, and contributes to their collectible appeal. Moreover, some 1973 pennies were minted as proofs in San Francisco with extremely high detail, and these can be especially valuable if kept in pristine condition since the day they were struck. Coin roll hunters and seasoned collectors alike continue to search for that one perfect example of the 1973 Lincoln cent, the one that exhibits flawless detail, unique errors, and the story that makes it shine above the rest. Imagine the thrill of holding in your hand a coin that was once casually spent on candy or gum, but now is recognized as a prized artifact of American minting history. The excitement is real, and the possibilities are endless when it comes to this seemingly simple penny, And now, the revelation that makes every coin hunter's heart skip a beat. Among the known examples of the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent penny, one particular coin, flawless in condition, certified at a top-tier grade, and containing a rare minting error, was valued and sold for a staggering $123,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, once worth just 1 cent, now valued at more than most luxury vehicles or a college education. So, the next time you're handed a penny in change or find one at the bottom of a drawer, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Inspect the date. Look for anything unusual. Because that tiny copper coin from 1973 could just be hiding a fortune in plain sight. And who knows? You might just be holding your own piece of American history, one worth far more than a penny. Top 4. Have you ever taken a closer look at the pennies in your pocket? That tiny, copper-colored coin we so often overlook can sometimes carry a secret far more valuable than you'd ever imagined. We journey into the fascinating world of coin collecting, where stories are minted into metal and history is preserved in the palm of your hand. And at the center of today's spotlight is none other than the 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin you might think is ordinary, but is anything but. This penny, born from a rich lineage of American currency, holds more than just sentimental value. In rare instances, it holds a small fortune. Let's rewind the clock to 1978. The United States was entering a new era of economic shifts and cultural evolution. Disco ruled the airwaves, gasoline was under $1, and Americans were carrying the familiar Lincoln cent in their wallets and purses. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the penny has gone through many transformations. By 1978, the Lincoln Memorial design, first adopted in 1959, was still featured on the reverse side of the coin, a tribute to one of America's most revered leaders. The obverse continued to feature Victor D. Brenner's famous profile of Lincoln, a design that has stood the test of time for well over a century. More than 5.5 billion Lincoln pennies were minted in 1978 across Philadelphia and Denver, with a small quantity produced as proof coins in San Francisco. Given those enormous numbers, it may seem impossible that a coin from that year could be considered rare or valuable. But here's the twist: it's not the quantity that defines rarity, it's the hidden imperfections, exceptional conditions, and mysterious minting anomalies that turn these everyday cents into prized possessions. Among collectors, the real treasure lies in the rare error coins, those produced with striking mistakes that occurred during the minting process. Some 1978 Lincoln cents were struck on defective or off-metal planchets, creating dramatic and eye-catching errors. Others feature doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's features, known as a doubled die. These rare mistakes are not only fascinating but can send collectors into bidding wars at auctions when found in pristine, uncirculated condition. Another vital factor in the value of a 1978 penny is its grade. Coins that remain untouched by circulation, especially those graded mint state 65 or higher, are extremely rare. These coins maintain their original red copper luster and show no signs of wear, even under magnification. For a coin over 4 decades old, finding one in perfect condition is like discovering a hidden gem. Collectors crave them, and investors recognize their appreciating value. Even more thrilling is when these mint state coins also possess a recognized error, making them one of a kind. In the coin world, rarity plus condition equals value, and the 1978 Lincoln cent has delivered some surprising results over the years. Stories from seasoned coin hunters who found treasure in pocket change or rolls of unsearched pennies fuel the passion and dedication of a growing community. The idea that 1 cent could be worth a small fortune keeps collectors inspired and always on the lookout. But this isn't just a coin. It's a piece of history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and a reminder that sometimes, great things come in small packages. A coin like this doesn't just tell the story of President Lincoln or the U.S. Mint, it tells your story, the story of the thrill of discovery and the excitement of possibility. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Out there in the numismatic world, a particular 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny, flawless in quality and struck with a rare error, has made headlines by reaching an astonishing value of $112,000. Yes, a single penny, once handed out as small change, now valued higher than most luxury cars. So next time you find a penny lying on the sidewalk, or tucked away in a drawer, pick it up and examine it closely. It might not just be spare change, it could be a rare collectible with a hidden history and a story worth over 6 figures. Keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and who knows, your lucky penny might just be one of the rarest treasures in American coinage. Top 5. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a simple penny, and discovering that it could be worth a fortune. It sounds like a dream, right? But sometimes, reality is even more surprising. We're diving into the incredible world of the Lincoln 1-cent penny from the United States of America, specifically the 1980 edition, a coin that many overlook, but one that might be sitting in your coin jar, hiding in plain sight with a value far beyond your imagination. The Lincoln cent is one of the most collected and studied coins in American history, and with good reason. It carries not only the image of one of the nation's most respected presidents, Abraham Lincoln, but also a legacy of changes, errors, and minting surprises that have fascinated collectors for decades. The 1980 Lincoln penny came at an important time in U.S. coinage. Produced just 2 years before the U.S. Mint shifted its composition from mostly copper to primarily zinc, the 1980 cent retains the original 95% copper content. This makes it one of the last of the true copper Lincolns, adding historical value and interest among collectors. Billions of these pennies were struck at 3 primary mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But among the countless coins produced, a handful stand out for reasons that go far beyond face value. Errors, pristine condition, and even rare variations can turn this common-looking coin into a valuable collector's item. What makes the 1980 Lincoln penny so special isn't just its age or material. It's the possibility of rare mint errors, coins that were misstruck in the minting process, or that feature doubling of the date or inscriptions, off-center strikes, or even anomalies in the metal composition. Collectors go wild for such unique features because they tell a story and are incredibly difficult to find. Imagine discovering a penny where the word, Liberty, or Lincoln's profile is doubled or shifted slightly due to a misalignment in the minting dies. These tiny variations can multiply the value of the coin exponentially, especially when paired with a coin's original red luster and sharp, uncirculated condition. The condition of the coin is absolutely critical. Coins that have been in circulation usually show signs of wear, scratches, fading, discoloration. But coins that have been preserved carefully, never used in transactions, and graded as mint state 65 or higher by a professional grading service are the ones that attract attention at auctions and in private sales. Red-toned, near-perfect 1980 Lincoln pennies with rare error features are the unicorns of coin collecting. And believe it or not, some of these coins have fetched prices that would make your jaw drop. Now, think about how this tiny copper coin connects the past with the present. It traveled through time, through hands, through cash registers and coin rolls, carrying history with it. It reminds us that even the smallest things can hold tremendous value when examined closely. Every collector, whether beginner or expert, dreams of finding that one special coin. The 1980 penny is a prime example of how patience, knowledge, and a little luck can result in a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So if you have an old jar of coins, or a drawer where change accumulates, it might be time to take a second look. Inspect each penny carefully, especially those from 1980. Use a magnifying glass, compare to online guides, check for errors, and evaluate the coin's condition. You never know when you might be holding a piece of American numismatic history. And here's the kicker, the cherry on top of this collector's tale. One extraordinary 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny, found in nearly flawless condition with remarkable features, stunned collectors when it was valued at an astonishing $100,000. That's right, just 1 cent turned into $100,000, proving that treasure doesn't always come in gold and silver. Sometimes, it comes in copper, quietly waiting to be discovered.